The Super Nintendo gem we're looking at today is Sunset Riders. This game was released by Konami, who was a titan during this era of gaming. Of course, known for Contra and Castlevania, they also have a really good track record of porting their arcade classics to the Super Nintendo. Things like Gradius 3 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. And Sunset Riders. This game cartridge goes for about $80 to $100 or so as of this recording, and today we're going to see, is it really worth that price? Let's take a look. Released in 1993, Sunset Riders adapts much of the original arcade experience to home consoles, with some minor changes. Sunset Riders is a side-scrolling shooter similar to Contra, but of course in a Wild West setting. You get to play as one of 4 characters: Steve, Billy, Bob, and Cormano. Steve and Billy use revolvers, while Bob and Cormano have rifles. The game has 8 stages with some gameplay variety. Mostly you're in a traditional side-scrolling platform levels, but stages 2 and 7 feature horseback riding to shake some things up. These stages I found the most challenging, and character selection is important. Using Bob and Cormano here for the gun's natural spread as a lifesaver against these carriage log throwers. The boss fights are also pretty fun and get more varied as the game goes on. Most notably is the Super Nintendo's ability to use these really clean sounding voice lines.
It's time to pay.
The game's biggest strength to me is in its polish. It may seem simple at first, but there is some level of complexity here. Shooting feels great, characters have their own differences, the soundtrack is really fitting, and the sound effects add for some atmosphere. A lot of this game you can tell is reminiscent of Turtles in Time, from the character selection screen, overall level structure, and the end-of-level sequences. This isn't a bad thing, just interesting to see Konami adapt this structure for different games across different genres. Not even mentioning this game supports 2 players, which I can only imagine adds to the fun. I only played it single player though. There's also a minute-long intro here that showcases all the characters. It just adds to the charm of this game. It's probably my favorite part. This game really shines with what Konami was capable of during this era. My biggest complaint with this game is the lack of movement options. You can jump on ledges similar to how it works in like the Shinobi series for example, but your horizontal movement is very slow. I almost wish there was some sort of dodge mechanic like in Wild Guns, the other popular Western game on the console. I think the action is slower here, which is intended, but it just doesn't really click with me like it should. At times, gameplay turns into more of a shmup with how much you are dodging the slow-moving bullets, and with a one-hit death, this game becomes way more challenging than I anticipated. Sunset Riders also was released on the Sega Genesis, but this version has arranged stages, fewer bosses, and only has 2 characters to select from. All in all, that version is a far cry from the original arcade. However, you can get a port of the arcade version for the Switch and PS4, which is the most affordable option. Sunset Riders is pretty good, probably my second favorite Western game on the Super Nintendo behind Wild Guns. And that is Sunset Riders. If you're a fan of side-scrolling action games with a little bit of a challenge, this is definitely for you. I'm not sure if I can recommend this cartridge based on the price that it demands. You might have some better luck picking up the arcade version on Switch or PS4. Are there any other Super Nintendo gems that you're interested in? Let me know, and in the meantime, thank you for watching.